You never know, you might make $1 million off of it. Got $1 million idea. Speaking of $1 million idea, here's the man, the myth, the legend. We got to listen to old Charlie here.
This inherent contradiction. We're super wealthy on one side, like a powerhouse juggernaut, and we are like an economic nightmare on the other side. How did that happen? Answer. The wealth went to older people at the expense of the next generation.
That's for sure.
Every single economic growth decision of the last 30 years has been made. I am going to benefit. My baby boomer generation is going to benefit. And I don't care if it hurts young people. And I'm not...
I didn't read the headline here, or the... this is from World by Wolf. Boomers are the generation. Boomers as a generation are the worst. My parents are boomers, so no, I'm not saying they're all bad. But as a whole, they are just the worst people. Okay. Selfish, arrogant, patronizing, destructive, solipsistic, self-righteous, feudal. And they destroyed centuries of social fabric. Thank you so much, World by Wolf, for posting the man, the myth, the legend, R.I.P. R.I.P. Charlie on the Tucker Carlson show. What a dynamic duo. Some of the most evil people on the face of... I don't know about Charlie. He seemed like kind of like a useful idiot type, if I had to guess. But Tucker, I think, is inherently evil to his core. And it's nice to see him riding the wave here. Let's get a good look at Tucker. Yeah. Totally innocent face. Came from money. Has never faced a consequence in his life. This is what it looks like, folks. Good for you, Tucker. Now you're riding the wave of MAGA and right-wing politics that has matured over the last decade is actually bad, even though you've been pretty much at the center of it. You had a show on Fox News. It was the biggest show on the internet, on cable news for over a decade. I'm not sure. Yelling at, by the way, who is your audience, Tucker? Boomers. Still is, by the way, probably. I'm interested to see how his audience... I think he's probably going for a younger audience here. It's a good way to do that. All right, boomers are dying off. You want the younger audience, you got to start talking shit. It's funny how he probably didn't say all this when they were the ones clicking in on his show, but hey, got to make money in this economy, right? You're either on from the god himself, Charlie. One side is doing extremely well, which is just printing money for themselves and fake currency and riding the day-to-day trades of being in a world war. Or you're on the other side where you actually work hard and you slave away at some job, but you never get ahead because, you're not meant to. Feudal, right? This word, quite interesting. I don't think this is a boomer tradition, and this is another case of them just trying to divide us, right? Boomers are acting in their self-interest just like any generation would be acting in their self-interest. Just like millennials are acting in their self-interest, where they get online and they post TikTok videos saying the most self-righteous, self-destructive, individualistic-minded, ruining the social fabric. Let me hold a microphone in someone's face and ask them what their body count is for clicks online. That's Gen Z millennials. Do you think this is a boomer phenomenon? And by the way, do you think if boomers whose houses are now worth, 50 times what they bought them for, whatever, so many years ago, if that was my generation, or me personally, right? If I bought a house for $11,000 and then 40 years later, after working some job that I slaved away at, it miraculously came that it basically is now worth $900,000, do you not think I'm going to cash in on that? That's the boomer. It's nothing to do with the ruling class just printing money for years and years, bad policies at left, right, and center. It's not the boomers' fault, it's the ruling class's fault, and the ruling class transcends generations. There are Gen Z in the ruling class making terrible decisions as we speak. Silent generations still holding on. Boomers, of course, millennials, but if anything, it's going to get worse because they actually don't have our generation has talk about no social fabric. We've never belonged to a social fabric. Boomers grew up with a social fabric and they still exist, right? Say what you want about boomers, but The boomers I know, they still meet up with people. They still have gatherings. They still are social. They still like pretend that there's some social fabric. I know a lot of it's just made up or whatever, but the younger generations, millennials, myself, Gen Z, we never grew up with a social fabric. So do you think boomers as a generation are the worst? You're going to eat your words here, words by Wolf. You haven't seen anything yet. I guess that's my take. But let's keep on listening to Tucker here, see what he has to say.
The worst, the dumbest, most narcissistic, the shallowest. Every sentence had like 9 cliches in it. They were all at Woodstock. They remembered when Kennedy was shot. It was the day the music died. Like everything they said was like the Don McLean tune. It didn't make sense. It was just a series of evocative cliches strung together to create a feeling. They were idiots, but above all, they were about themselves. I hated them then. I hate them now. In 4th grade, I remember saying to a buddy of mine, I hate these people.
I feel like that's a good place to stop. Oh man, I can't keep doing it. That's awesome. Shout out, guys. That's awesome.